listeners. Welcome to another episode of Connections, the podcast where we untangle the web of human communication. I'm your host, CJ. Today we're diving into a peculiar yet profound aspect of communication, humor, and its role as a sense-making device. We have two special guests with us. John, a seasoned paramedic with over a decade's experience in emergency services, and Dr. Lisa, a renowned psychologist with an academic interest in the effects of humor in high-stress occupations. Welcome to Connections, John and Dr. Lisa.
Glad to be here, CJ.
Thank you, CJ. It's a pleasure.
I'm thrilled to have you both here. Now, I would like to start with a study by James Beauchanton titled Ambulance Thieves, Clowns, and Naked Grandfathers: How PSEs and Their Families Use Humorous Communication as a Sense-Making Device. The title in itself is intriguing. Dr. Lisa, could you enlighten us on the key aspects of this study?
Certainly, CJ. Beauchanton's study explores humor as an interactional practice that serves as a sense-making tool for public safety employees and their families. The research uncovers how PSEs, like John, use humor both productively and unproductively with the concept she introduces, the humorous bilateral emotional labor.
Humorous bilateral emotional labor. That sounds fascinating. Could you break it down for us?
It's an intriguing concept indeed. It refers to how individuals use humor to process their emotions and manage others. This helps them create a safe emotional distance from the traumatic experiences they face in their jobs. In a nutshell, it's how PSEs use humor as a survival mechanism in their high-stress work environments.
John, as a paramedic, you're often confronted with dire situations. How does humor find its place in your day-to-day life?
Well, CJ, humor is a constant in our line of work, and not just for the sake of lightening the mood. So picture this. You're in a high-pressure situation, a multi-car pileup on the highway. It's a chaotic scene. You're fighting to save lives. In that moment, a joke, a lighthearted comment can help us maintain our sanity. It's a coping mechanism. As Dr. Lisa mentioned, that emotional buffer. And it's also a way to maintain camaraderie amongst the team when the stakes are high.
That's such a unique perspective. So, humor becomes this balancing tool, providing relief from the heaviness of your work. And how does this translate to your family life?
You know, at home, it can be challenging to explain the complexity and the pressure of our work. But funny stories, the lighter moments, they make it a bit easier to share. Like, there was this one time we got a call about a naked grandfather needing extraction from a bathtub.
Oh my, that does sound like a story. Let's hold that thought for a second. And Dr. Lisa, perhaps you could shed light on how humor affects family dynamics in these high-stress professions.
Absolutely. Beauchanton's study notes that humor helps PSEs and their families navigate the relationship between work and home. The humorous bilateral emotional labor isn't just limited to the workplace. It extends into the home, providing a bridge for PSEs to communicate their work experiences to their families in a palatable way.
That's interesting. It seems humor acts as a medium of shared understanding. Now, John, would you finish that naked grandfather story?
Sure, CJ. So we get this call, and we're trying to keep it professional, but it's hard not to crack up a bit, right? And it turned out the grandpa was a good sport about it. He'd been taking a bath, and the tub was so slick he couldn't get out. So we had to help him out. We wrapped him up and got him laughing about the situation too. It was a moment of shared humanity, a little laughter amidst the chaos.
That's a wonderful anecdote, John. It goes to show that humor can indeed make challenging situations more bearable.
And that's exactly what the study indicates. There is, however, a flip side. Beauchanton's research also acknowledges that humor can be used in unproductive ways. It can sometimes become a mask, leading to the avoidance of confronting or expressing true emotions. It's a delicate balance, using humor as a sense-making tool without it turning into a defense mechanism.
That's important insight, Dr. Lisa. It's vital to recognize when humor aids in processing emotions and when it serves as an escape.
Absolutely. We have to be careful about that. Humor helps, but it's also essential to have open, honest conversations about our feelings, especially with our families.
Certainly, John. I think that's an important note for our listeners. The balance between humor as a tool for sense making and as a potential emotional facade. Well, it's time for us to wrap up. Thank you, John, for sharing your experiences, and Dr. Lisa for your academic insights. Our conversation today underscores the intricate dance between humor and sense making, highlighting the importance of communication in all its forms. Tune in next time, listeners, when we continue exploring the fascinating world of human communication. We'll take a dive into sense giving, an equally captivating facet that complements sense making. Curious how we not only make sense of our world, but also contribute to shaping others' understanding? You won't want to miss it. I'm CJ, signing off from Connections. Stay connected, everyone.